Good morning, children. Today we are going to read Unit 4 A reading. Unit 4 A reading. Okay. That is the fun they had. It is a scientific based story. Okay. So today we have what is it? A digital based computer system. Array education and everywhere we are using the computers. And after 50 years or 100 years, what would be our teaching style? What would be our teaching methods? Based on that, this story is written. Okay. The writer of the story is Isaac Asimov. Isaac Asimov. Okay, Isaac Asimov. In this, we are going to read about. Let's see the story here. Maggie even wrote about it that night in her diary. On the page headed 17 May 2157. 17 May 2157. That means after 150 years. Okay. This year is 2020. And this is the diary of 2157 or 2157. That means after 150 years. Okay. So Maggie is a girl. She got a, what she wrote in her diary? Today, Tommy found a real book. So two characters, important characters. Maggie and Tommy. Tommy. She's writing that Tommy got a real book. Real book. What is a real book? This is a real book. But the book which we can find in our computers, our phone, they are not real book. It was a very old book. Maggie's grandfather once said that when he was a little boy, his grandfather told him that there was a time when all stories were printed on paper. So, after 150 years, our great grandchild will come. So that time they will discuss about us. Like that, Maggie is saying that her grandfather told her that his grandfather, okay, his grandfather used the real book. They have the everything were printed on the pages, okay, on papers. They turned the pages, which were yellow and crinkly, and it was awfully funny to read words that stood still instead of moving the way they were supposed to on the screen, you know. So, after 150 years, there would be no book. But Maggie is saying that when they found that book, it is a very old, 150 years. So pages is crunchy. That means if you see an old book, its color, the pages color becomes yellowish color, and then you try to turn it, it is cringy and it will break up. Okay, like that. And in those books, see, here our books are, our letters are, what is our letters? Our letters are constant here. Okay, but in a screen, when you are going for a screen, the letters will move on and you have to go on reading. Okay, you know, and then when they turned back to the pages before, it had the same word in it that it had when they read it in the first time. So for the first time they are looking this book, real book, because those children were acquainted with the screen book. The everything will become on the screen and you have to go on reading. Guy, said Tommy. Guy means Maggie. Guy, what is the best? When you are throw the book, you just throw it away. I guess our television screen must have had millions of books on it, and it is good for plenty more. I would not throw it away. So, what is a real book and what is the difference between a computer book? That is the difference. What after reading this, we have to throw it out. But in a computer, if the book is there are several books will come inside the computer screen. Okay, and there is no need to throw it away. Same with mine, said Maggie. She was 11 and had not seen as many textbooks, telebooks as Tommy had. So, Tommy and Maggie, okay, Tommy is 13 years old and Maggie is 11 years old. So Maggie had not seen as many books as Tommy had. Okay. She said, where did you find it? In my house. He pointed without looking because he was busy in reading in the attic. So while Tommy is busy with reading that book, Maggie asked, where did you find it? Then he replied that in my house I found it. What is it about? School. Maggie was scornful. School? What is that to write about school? I hate school. Okay. So Maggie asked to Tommy, yes, you got that book. What is that book about? Then Tommy said that it is the book regarding the school. School. Maggie did not like school. I hate school. She said, okay. Maggie always hated school, but now she hated it more than ever. The mechanical teacher had been giving her test after test in geography, and she had been doing worse and worse until her mother had shaken her head sorrowfully and sent for the country inspector. So Maggie is nowadays very scornful, very afraid of school, because in that how they are reading this mechanical teacher. Their mechanical teacher means the class will come as you are coming in the Zoom class. Okay, like that the class will come in the computer and they will give some task. And Maggie is doing worst and worst, particularly in geography. So that's why her mother took her to the country inspector. He was a round little man. He was a round little man with a red face and a whole box of tools with dials and wires. He smiled at Maggie and gave her an apple, then took the teacher apart. So when they went there, the inspector, what he did is a round, it is also a machine. Okay, so they gave him some apple to Maggie. Maggie had hoped he would not know how to put it together again, but he knew. After an hour or so, there it was again, large and black and ugly with a big screen on which all the lessons were shown, and the questions were asked. Same thing here. Then she was taken to the inspector. So some big screen is there, all the lessons are there. Okay, different types of questions are there. That was so bad. That was not so bad. The part Maggie hated most was the slot where he had to put the homework and the test paper. So main thing is homework and the test paper. Before they have to give the task. After writing the task, they had to put the homeworks and test papers there. Whatever they have written the test. She always had to write them out in a punch code. They made her learn when she was 6 years old, and the mechanical teacher calculated the marks in no time. So since she was 6 years old, she is going on reading this type of things only. Okay, now she is 11 years. And after you keep that test paper, what will happen? The mechanical teacher will count your marks. The inspector had smiled and patted Maggie's head after he had finished. He said to her mother, "It is not the little girl's fault, Mr. Jones. I think the geography sector was geared a little too quickly." That means the geography lessons have been geared. That means it is going so fast, somewhat fast. That's why the little girl is unable to understand it. That is not the fault of this girl. Quickly, I think those things happen sometimes. I have slowed it up to an average 10 years level. So he has slowed it down. Okay, he adjusted that. Actually, the overall pattern of her progress is quite satisfactory. And he patted Maggie's head again. So she said that, he said that, the inspector said that, yes, it's okay. She will cope up now. She will get the lessons properly now. Maggie was disappointed. She had been hoping they have to take the teacher away altogether. They had once taken Tommy's teacher away for nearly a month because the history sector had blanked out completely. Once it had been happened with Tommy also, they blanked the total history section. So she said to Tommy, "Why would anyone write about school?" So this is the incident happened with Maggie. So that's why she did not like school anymore. So she asked why the people should write about school. Tommy looked at her with her very superior eyes. Because it is not our kind of school, stupid. This is the old kind of school that they had hundreds and hundreds of years ago. So the boy told to Maggie, Tommy told to Maggie that you are stupid, you can't understand. This is not our kind of school. This is 100 years how the people were learning that type of school. He added loftily, pronouncing the word carefully, centuries ago. Centuries ago. That means 100 years ago. Maggie was hurt. Well, I don't know what kind of school they had all the time ago. She read the book over his shoulder for a while and then said, anyway, they had a teacher. Okay. She read for some time and they had teachers also. Surely they had teacher, but it was not a regular teacher, it was a ma'am. Regular teacher means a computer class, what the, how it is coming for them. That type of teacher not there. A ma'am was there. A man, how could a man be a teacher? So man is a teacher. After 150 years or 200 years, people will think that man used to teach the student. What a strange thing. They will think like that. Okay, the time will come. So these kids also, they are thinking that a man, how a man can be a teacher? Well, he just told the boys and girls things and gave them homework and asked them questions. So in those times, the teacher used to teach them and ask the questions orally. A man is not smart enough. Sure, he is. My father knows as much as my teacher. So the girl is saying that man is not intelligent. How they will teach? No. Men are intelligent also. My father knows more than our teacher. He knows almost as much. I betcha. Maggie was not prepared to dispute that. She said, I would not want to I would not want a strange man in my house to teach me. So she said that, no, I don't like a strange man will come and teach in our house. Tommy screamed with laughter. You don't know much, Maggie. The teachers did not live in the house. They had a special building and all the kids went there. So, in the olden days, in the Gurukuls, we learned like that in an Indian heritage. Okay, Indian culture. Students used to go to the teacher. He is telling the same thing here. Okay, they had a special building. All the kids went there. And all kids learned the same thing. Sure, if they were the same age. So, every same age students, they learned the same thing. What you are leading? You are 8th class. All the students are learning the same thing. Isn't it? So, like that. But my mother says, a teacher has to be adjusted to fit the mind of each boy and girl. It teaches and that each kid has to be taught differently. But my mother says that each student should be taught differently. But how the children they learned that time? Just the same they did not do it that way. Then if you don't like it, you don't have to read the book. So Tommy said, if you don't like this, you don't read this book. Okay, you go. I will read this book. I did not say I did not like it. Maggie said quickly. She wanted to read about those funny schools. So it would be very funny when all the children comes to the Gurukul or to the teacher, and the teacher will teach the same lesson to all the people of the same age. They were not even half finished when Maggie's mother called. Maggie, school. So as they were reading that book, Maggie's mother came and called, okay, Maggie, you have school. That means your class started. Now you get in. Maggie looked up, not at Mama. Now, said Mr. Jones, and it is probably time for Tommy too. So Tommy and Maggie, both you have the class now. You stop that reading and come. Maggie said to Tommy, can I read the book some more with you after school? So after the class is over, let's read the book. Maybe, he said nonchalantly. He walked away whistling. The dusty old book tucked beneath his arm. So okay, he tucked it and by whistling, he went away. Tommy went away to reading the school. The classes started. And the classes started there. Maggie went into the classroom. It was right next to her bedroom, and the mechanical teacher was on and waiting for her. It was always on at the same time every day except Saturday and Sunday. They did not have the class. Okay, they don't have class. And as he entered into the room, he saw the teacher is ready. That means the class is going on. Okay, and waiting for the girl. Because her mother said little girls learned better if they learned at the regular hour. So every day when you learning is a process. It never ends. Okay. If you are regular in learning, it is very easy to learn anything else. The screen was lit up and it said today's arithmetic lesson is on the addition of proper fractions. So now they started the max class there for Maggie. Proper fractions, addition of the proper fractions. Please insert yesterday's homework in the proper slot. Just you put the homeworks of yesterday. Maggie did so with the sigh. She was thinking about the old school they had when her grandfather's grandfather was a little boy. Grandfather's grandfather was a little boy. They had good fun like today we have. But unfortunately, this year we stopped. We have been stopped for that. And we have good fun at school. All the kids from the whole neighborhood came laughing, shouting in the schoolyard. You might have known, as you are going to the school, when you reach the school, all the students coming from the neighborhood and the area, okay, we meet and we chat and we talk, we laugh, or we play together, or sitting together in the classroom, going home together at the end of the day. So everything we are doing together, okay. They learned the same thing, so they could help one another with the homework and talk about it. As you are also learning the same thing, okay. So homework, we can ask our friends how we can do this sum, okay. You are taking the help of others also, okay. So Maggie is thinking that is the better way, okay. And the teachers were people, human beings. The mechanical teacher was flashing on the screen. When we add the fractions half and 1 by 4, so 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4. The class started there. Okay. Maggie was thinking about how the kids must have loved in the old days. So what is this stupid thing? This is not good, not at all good. Olden schools are only good schools. People used to go there, gather there. She was thinking about the fun they had. Okay. In those days, my grandfather's grandfather, when he was a little boy, they enjoyed the class. Do you enjoy the class? Yeah, surely. Because we come together, we learn together, we help each other, we play together, okay, and we go to home together. Okay, I think you must have understood the lesson properly. I will send you the contents of this lesson. Okay, thank you.